Ciao guys, welcome to our Speakeasy. Today we talk about the evolution of the legacy machines by MB&F. After combining high watchmaking with the world of science fiction, organic design, automotive and aviation, Max Busser and his friends created a new concept, an evolution of the legacy machine collection. New timepieces able to follow MB&F collectors wherever they go. As always, the beta tester is Max himself, who needed to wear something which could have been used everywhere, even underwater. That is why he chose the LM Perpetual to evolve. LMP is practical, functional, and the movement developed together with Stephen McDonnell is just groundbreaking. The EVO case is extremely comfortable to wear. It's sleeker, more ergonomic, and features an integrated rubber strap completed by a deployant buckle. The pushers have been redesigned. They are now squared with double spring, easier to use. The bezel is thinner to enlarge and give more light to the dial and what's above. The addition of Superluminova makes the watch easier to read, especially in the dark. Another cool feature is the introduction of a flex ring, a monoblock shock absorber placed between the movement and the case, which moves both vertically and horizontally to absorb as much vibrations as possible. The materials used so far are zirconium and titanium, both lighter and more robust than steel. So let's go back to the LMP EVO, which movement have been developed by Irish watchmaker Stephen McDonnell. I met Stephen in 2015 during the launch of the first LM Perpetual, and I was blown away by what he came up with. He erased hundreds of years of history and redesigned the Perpetual calendar complication from scratch. For more than 150 years, watchmakers have been using the same system that consists in an annual calendar-based movement with a Perpetual module, in which every month is made of 31 days. Stephen's revolution was to think of a movement with 28 days per month that would engage a mechanical processor which calculates exactly how many days that particular month has and instantly jumps from 28, 29, 30 or 31 to the first day of the next month. Normally, you should not set perpetual calendars during sensitive times of the day, at midnight for example, because a wrong manipulation can potentially break the movement. MB&F LMP features a foolproof system. It means that you can press the buttons as much as you want, but you will never break or damage the movement. Why? Because they automatically disconnect from the caliber during those sensitive time frames. The idea of Stephen was also to show the beautiful calendar mechanism which is usually hidden behind the dial. His goal was to combine part of the mechanism with the display. In fact, the sub-dials seems to float above the gears and levers. No one has ever done anything like this before. The second EVO, launched in 2022, is another reinterpretation by Stephen McDonnell of a traditional complication, the chronograph. With the LM Sequential EVO, Stephen wanted to improve what is known to be the ultimate chronograph, which is the split second. How? By integrating two column wheel chronographs in the same movement. Why? Because they can be used in so many incredible ways. Each chronograph has its 60 seconds and 30 minutes display, as well as their start, stop and reset pushers. The two can be used of course independently, but what's really interesting is the fifth pusher at 9 o'clock, called the twinverter, which interacts at the same time with both chronographs. With the twinverter, they can be started and stopped at the same time. Imagine a race car. You can time two cars exactly like a split second, but with two different displays. Another example of its use is when a chronograph is running and the other is stopped. By pressing the twinverter, we will invert whatever is happening, entering in sequential mode. The running counter will stop and the other one will start. This is perfect for lap timing, for example. This can be done indefinitely, switching both chronographs as much as you need. It opens up a whole new universe. Imagine, for example, a chess game. Thanks to this new system, just by pressing the twinverter, you can time each player's playing turn, and it keeps accumulating. As well as the Perpetual, the sequential's dial and movement merge together in layers of levers, wheels and subdials, all floating on the base plate, always overlooked by the flying balance wheel. Legacy Machines' signature. The latest model of the EVO collection is the LM Split Escapement EVO, which comes from an idea that Stephen McDonnell had while developing the Perpetual. There was so much on its dial and so little space for the flying escapement that Stephen was obliged to separate the balance wheel from escapement wheel and anchor. How? By inventing a system which places the two on the backside of the watch, almost 12 mm below the balance wheel. Contrary to the previous two EVOs, the split escapement features one of the purest dials, with just 3 small floating dials indicating the time, the date and the 72 hours power reserve. Compared to the classic Legacy Machine split escapement, the EVO movement have been tilted, which results in a beautiful asymmetric light blue dial enclosed in a 44 mm titanium case. The three LM EVO together symbolize the future of Max Busser and his MB&F, who never ceased to amaze us with his incomparable creation and his avant-garde vision of watchmaking. That's it for today. Don't forget to like, subscribe and follow us on our social media channels. See you next time. Ciao! Ok. No, non devo virgolettare. Ok. But that's the spirit, no? Above, we can remix this? No, okay.